You are tracking AI visibility wrong, and I'm going to tell you why and what you need to do about it. The industry's current approach to visibility on AI is kind of born from SEO, but the problem is traditional search SEO on Google is different. It's deterministic, meaning like if you submit the same query to Google multiple times, it's going to come up with similar results. That is not the case with AI LLMs like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, etc. As we all have seen, you'll get different results over time. So LLMs are probabilistic, not deterministic. You run the same prompt multiple times and you'll get a distribution of different responses, not just like one fixed answer. It's totally different. So the model is generating each response based on statistical associations, not a retrievable index. So there's no rank one to hold. And people shouldn't be telling you that. Like get rank one on ChatGPT. Like it doesn't even make sense. The second flaw in current AI visibility tracking is less obvious, but it's also important. Basically, most prompt tracking today relies on generic decontextualized inputs. So for example, things like best CRM in 2026 or top accounting software, best project management tool for smaller teams. Those types of prompts are clean and scalable and easy to standardize, and they look exactly like the keywords we've always tracked in SEO, but they also don't resemble how real people use AI search. Real users are going to carry context. They're going to have prior conversations. There's going to be professional constraints, specific goals, and levels of knowledge that shape what they're actually asking. So a prompt like best CRM in 2026 represents an abstract anonymous user that has no history, like no constraints, no intent beyond just those words in the query they put in. So when you measure AI visibility using these prompts, you're measuring how the model's responding to a hypothetical person who rarely shows up in real decision-making moments. And so that's dubious usability or usefulness there. So a real audit work will bear this out, and we've seen this. In one analysis, there was a brand that showed strong visibility for broad category queries, like the kind that show up well in standard tracking, SEO, etc. But when the prompts were shaped around specific contexts where their buyers are actually operating in, their visibility dropped to zero, at least for most of the topics that were directly connected to making purchase decisions, which is what we usually care about. So the tracking looked healthy, but the actual picture was bad. It's deceptive. But like agencies who are doing this, they're going to show you whatever's you're winning at instead of what matters. And that's the difference between an honest agency and a dishonest agency, because what matters is what gets you actual qualified sales, qualified prospects, and sales that result. Like who cares if your agency's report is showing you winning in all these different search queries when it doesn't actually generate any business for you? Here's what good measurement of AI visibility actually requires. The brute force isn't going to solve this. So the answer is to improve the quality of the input rather than the quantity. So good measurement of this type of a probabilistic system, like we're talking about here with AI, it requires asking a different question entirely. So the old question was like, where do we rank? The right question is, how reliably does our brand appear when the conditions that actually matter are present? Let me say that again for those in the back. How reliably does our brand, your brand, appear when the conditions that actually matter, that represent a real user that we're our ICP out in the wild, are actually in this situation? Like a brand that appears the majority of the time when the right persona and intent conditions are met are genuinely you're in a strong position, even if like the average visibility across the generic category-ish prompts aren't that great. Like who cares? Listen, I know this is like a little bit heady stuff, but it's really important because it's like hard because everybody came from like, it's easy to measure SEO results. It's not really that easy, but it's easier. This is a whole different paradigm. And as a business owner, as a brand, as somebody who's trying to get cited and be visible in AI, these are the things you need to care about, because if you're working with someone who doesn't get that, you're going to get very artificial, fake results that are going to maybe make you feel good short term, but you're going to be wondering why you're not getting more business on the back end despite your investment in AI search. If you want a real AI visibility audit, just hit me up. You can book a call with me, or you can even use the tool that I mentioned down below here in the description. I'll put it, and you can use that tool to get some AI visibility results. But I'm going to be honest with you, even though that's good, it's going to give you a general sense. If you want a really like hyper specific audit that's more in depth, set up a time with me, book a call, we'll go over it, and I'll prepare that before the call, and then we can talk about what really matters.